I would like to report a murder. Hello, everybody. David Shuster here. Elizabeth May, Canadian Member of Parliament, leader of the Green Party, just delivered one of the most brutal takedowns of Donald Trump you will ever see. The bloodletting happened during a news conference broadcast on CPAC, Canada's version of C-SPAN in the United States.
Newsflash, Donald Trump, we are not aspiring to be a 51st state. We are already a sovereign country. We are a nation. And anytime anyone looks around the world for the top 10 places to live, Canada's in the top half of the top 10, always. The United States? Never. Even the U.S. News and World Report, which puts together such a list, looks at things like affordability, access to health care, safe streets. Where do you want to live? Canada.
May was just getting started. She brought up Donald Trump's recent social media post where he wrote, "Oh, Canada," with this AI-generated triumphant photo.
No matter how many Trump photos of him in business suits striding a Swiss mountain he posts with a Canadian flag, we're not intimidated.
Yes, that is the Matterhorn in Switzerland.
People who know Trump in business deals say this is his tactic before negotiation. Humiliation, business approach. Okay, so I take offense. We do not strive to be the 51st state. We're a G7 country. We are part of the world as an independent, sovereign nation. Comme Canada, nous sommes déjà nation, nation fière.
When May went back to English, she addressed Trump's recent suggestions about who in Canada should try to become the next Canadian Prime Minister.
I have so many great friends. One of them is the great one, Wayne Gretzky. I said, run for Prime Minister, you'll win it'll take 2 seconds.
Wayne Gretzky, I mean, he's great. He is the great one. He skates to where the puck is going. It's not going to MAGA. The puck is on a Canadian ice rink. And by the way, Mr. Trump, please, before making public pronouncements that Wayne Gretzky should run for Prime Minister, give yourself or get yourself a briefing on the nature of parliamentary democracy, a Westminster parliamentary system, and a constitutional monarchy where no one runs for Prime Minister. We have elections for members of parliament. We don't get to pick and choose among our billionaire friends for who gets a seat at the cabinet table. If they're not an elected member of parliament, well, Canadian system is different from that of the United States of America. I suggest that Mr. Trump find one of his grandchildren's school books and look at the year 1776, which may explain a few things to him about why our systems of government are different.
Ouch. May then delivered her coup de grace. That French phrase means death blow to end the suffering of a severely wounded person or animal. May twisted the knife by turning the tables on Trump's idea of territorial expansion and annexation. Watch.
Hey, Donald, have we got a deal for you? You think we want to be the 51st state? Nah, but maybe California would like to be the 11th province. How about it? California? Oregon? Washington? You've got geography in common with us. And not only that, we've already got a carbon trading system between California and Quebec. We've got some strong alliances on our west coast from British Columbia. There's been a lot of academic papers on the idea of Cascadia. So California, Governor Newsom, and Washington State, Jay Inslee, and newly elected Governor of Oregon, Tina Kotek. How about it? Want to put a referendum to your citizens? Because this is what you deal. Have we got a deal for you? This is what you get. Free health care. Universal free health care. No more one-year-olds who suddenly fall off the Medicaid list and their parents are in the news because they're trying to do a GoFundMe so they can get their daughter to a doctor.
Yes, that story has been in the news in the United States.
Universal free health care. And guess what? Those gun laws that your Congress is too afraid to pass because of the national gun lobby, we already got our strict gun laws. That's why we have the safest streets around the world, or at least in the United States, by the way, the most recent stats, 5.9 out of every 100,000 people is killed in a fatal gun incident versus 0.88 per 100,000 in Canada. That's because we have strict gun laws. California citizens, Oregon, Washington, Safer streets. Here we already have good gun laws, and women have a right to an abortion under our universal health care system. But, we don't have to stop there. Donald, think about it. You could get rid of all these states that always vote Democrat. You know what else will take Bernie Sanders off your hands? Proud new Canadian citizen of the great province of Vermont. Vermont, New Hampshire, Maine. We'd love to see you. Our maritime provinces already have deep, deep links and ties. Well, enough kidding around. But honestly, President Trump, get used to it. Canada is a sovereign nation full of, guess what, proud Canadians. We're not jingoistic. We don't boast a lot. That's one of the things we kind of have in common with Jimmy Carter. We're not a big nation for braggarts and bullies. We actually like to think we're of service in the world. We could do better. We can always do better. But we love our country. And it's a country. It's a nation. And we do not aspire to be a 51st state. So let's not hear that anymore. If it was a joke, it was never funny. And it ends now.
Elizabeth May. She represents a federal electoral district in British Columbia, Canada. Clearly, she is not somebody to be messed with. For the record, a polling company recently asked Canadian citizens about being part of the United States. 85% responded they were against that idea. 5% were not sure, and 12% supported being part of the United States. I have a feeling that more Americans than 12% would want their state to be part of Canada. And in blue states, where there is more in common with Canadian provinces than with southern red states, the percentage would be even higher. So maybe MAGA World and Donald Trump should take Elizabeth May's advice. Let's not have this discussion anymore. Stop the trolling and stop tempting many of us who wish our communities in the United States were as safe, smart, and enlightened as those in Canada. By the way, Dementia Don continues to trend in the wake of Trump's Bizarro news conference the other day.
He wants everybody to have an electric heater instead of a gas heater. Gas heater is much less expensive. The heat is much better. It's a much better heat. As the expression goes, you don't itch. Does anybody have a heater where you go and you're scratching? That's what they want you to have. They don't want you to have gas where you don't have the problems of the electric.
Check out that video at the link below. It generated a lot of comments on YouTube. One of the most popular is from KPAD, who wrote, "Trump is a nut job, totally clueless, a national disgrace." I hear you. I look forward to reading your comments about Canadian Member of Parliament Elizabeth May, who just annihilated Donald Trump in epic fashion on camera. I'm David Shuster. Thanks for joining us.